There was a man named Daniel who had a strange morning ritual. Every day before leaving for work, he would stand in front of the bathroom mirror for exactly 30 seconds. Not because he was vain, because something bothered him. His face looked tired. His shoulders looked different. His clothes didn't seem to sit on him the way they used to. And one morning he stared at his reflection a little longer than usual and thought, "When did I start looking like this?" That question stayed with him all day, because Daniel hadn't suddenly changed overnight. There had been no dramatic moment, no single decision that ruined his appearance. Instead, there had been hundreds of tiny decisions. 5 more minutes on the phone. Another late night, another skipped workout, another meal chosen because it was convenient, another day spent hunched over a screen, another week of telling himself, "I'll take care of myself later." And that's the problem with certain habits. They don't announce themselves, they don't feel dangerous, they feel normal, but while you're busy living your life, they can quietly change the way you look, move, and carry yourself. The Stoics had a powerful understanding of this. They believed that character is built through repeated actions, and your appearance is often a visible record of those actions. So today we're going to uncover 10 silent habits that may be quietly ruining your appearance, and more importantly, what you can do about them. Because this isn't about becoming perfect, it's about becoming intentional. 1. Always looking down. Think about the last time you walked through a public place, an airport, a coffee shop, a grocery store, a city sidewalk. How many people were looking at their phones? Head down, shoulders rounded, eyes locked onto a screen. We live in a world where looking down has become almost automatic. And eventually, your body starts adapting to what you repeatedly ask it to do. But here's what most people miss. Posture changes your entire presence. You could be wearing a great outfit, have a fresh haircut, and still appear exhausted or uncertain if your posture is constantly collapsed. Now picture the opposite. Someone walks into a room, head up, shoulders relaxed, back straight, eyes calm. They're not trying to get attention. They're simply present. And somehow, they look more confident. That's not an accident. So start noticing yourself. When you're walking, look ahead. When you're talking to someone, give them your attention. When you're sitting, stop folding yourself into the screen. You don't need perfect posture. You simply need to stop practicing bad posture for 10 hours a day. 2. Sacrificing sleep for screen time. Here's a habit almost everyone understands. You tell yourself you're going to bed at 10:30, then one video becomes 3, one message becomes 20 minutes. You check social media one last time. Suddenly it's midnight. Then one and wham, and tomorrow morning your alarm sounds. You hit snooze, you look in the mirror, and you wonder why you look exhausted. The answer isn't complicated. Your body has been asking for recovery while you've been giving it more stimulation. One late night isn't the issue. The problem is turning poor sleep into your normal routine. Because when exhaustion becomes normal, you stop noticing how much it affects you. Your energy, your mood, your expression, your willingness to move, your ability to take care of yourself. The Stoic approach isn't complicated. Respect what your body requires. You don't need another hour of scrolling more than you need proper rest. Sometimes discipline looks incredibly boring. It looks like putting the phone down, turning off the light, and going to sleep. But boring habits often produce extraordinary results. 3. Eating whatever is convenient. Daniel used to tell himself he wasn't eating badly. He wasn't eating enormous amounts. He simply ate whatever was easiest. Fast food between meetings, snacks while working, takeout when he was tired, something sweet late at night. Nothing seemed serious. But months passed. His energy dropped, his clothes fit differently, and he didn't feel as comfortable in his own body. That's when he realized something. Small choices don't stay small when you repeat them every day. This doesn't mean you need an extreme diet. It means you need awareness. Before you eat something, occasionally ask, "Is this helping me feel and perform the way I want?" That's enough to create a pause between impulse and decision. The goal isn't punishment. The goal is respect. Your body carries you through every meeting, every relationship, every challenge, every ordinary Tuesday. Treat it like something worth maintaining. 4. Neglecting the basics. Sometimes people think improving their appearance requires expensive products. It doesn't. A clean haircut, fresh clothes, good hygiene, clean nails, fresh breath, a well-maintained beard, basic skincare, clothes that actually fit. These aren't glamorous things, but they're powerful, because looking well-maintained sends a simple message. I take care of myself. And that message affects how you feel before it affects how anyone else sees you. You don't need designer clothing. You don't need a luxury watch. You don't need to look like a celebrity. Take care of the basics consistently, because when the basics are handled, confidence becomes much easier to carry. 5. Constantly worrying about other people's opinions. This habit is invisible, but you can see its consequences. Someone enters a room, they immediately scan everyone. Do I look okay? Are they judging me? Was that person looking at my clothes? Did I say something embarrassing? And suddenly, they're no longer enjoying the moment. They're performing. That creates tension, and tension changes how you carry yourself. Here's the Stoic solution. Stop trying to control what isn't yours to control. You cannot control everyone's opinion. You cannot control whether someone likes your appearance. You cannot control what someone says after you leave the room. But you can control whether you respect yourself. And ironically, when you stop desperately seeking approval, you often become far more comfortable and attractive because you're no longer trying to prove anything. 6. Living in bad posture. Now let's make this personal. Look at yourself right now. Are your shoulders forward? Is your neck pushing toward the screen? Are you sitting for hours without moving? If yes, you're not alone. Millions of people spend most of their day in positions their bodies were never designed to maintain for hours, and eventually that position becomes your default. You don't notice it anymore until you see yourself in a photograph. Then you think, why do I look like that? You don't need to become obsessed with posture. Just create small resets. Stand up, walk around, stretch. Adjust your chair. Bring your screen closer to eye level. Relax your shoulders. The goal isn't to look rigid. The goal is to look comfortable in your own body. 7. Stopping movement. There's a point in many people's lives when movement slowly disappears. School ends, college ends, the first job begins, then another job, then responsibilities, then sitting becomes the default. Drive to work, sit at work, drive home, sit at home, scroll, sleep, repeat, and years can pass like that. You don't need to become a professional athlete. You simply need to move, walk, lift, stretch, swim, cycle, play a sport, take the stairs, whatever you can maintain, because movement doesn't only affect your body, it changes your energy, and energy is visible. You can often recognize someone who feels alive before they ever say a word. So don't wait for motivation. Create a routine, even a simple one. Consistency beats intensity when intensity doesn't last. 8. Comparing yourself to people online. This may be one of the most destructive habits of modern life. You open your phone, and suddenly you're looking at people with perfect lighting, perfect angles, perfect clothes, perfect bodies, perfect vacations. Then you look at yourself, and your ordinary Tuesday suddenly feels inadequate. But remember something, you're comparing your real life to a carefully selected moment from someone else's life. That's not a fair competition. The Stoics would tell you to return your attention to what belongs to you, your path, your habits, your progress, your character. Don't ask, why don't I look like him? Ask, what can I improve about myself? That's a question you can actually answer. 9. Talking to yourself like an enemy. Imagine a friend looking into the mirror and saying, I look terrible. I'm getting old. Nothing about me looks good. What would you say to them? You'd probably tell them to stop being so hard on themselves. So why do it to yourself? Self-improvement doesn't require self-hatred. If something needs improvement, improve it. If you're out of shape, train. If your wardrobe is outdated, upgrade it. If your grooming is neglected, fix it. But don't attack your own identity. Say, "This is where I am. Now what can I do about it?" That is a Stoic question, not, "Why am I like this?" but, "What is within my control today?" That question moves you forward. 10. Giving up on yourself. And now we reach the habit that sits underneath all the others. Giving up. It starts quietly. You stop caring about your clothes. You stop exercising. You stop grooming. You stay up late. You eat whatever you want. You stop paying attention to your posture. And eventually, you stop expecting anything better from yourself. But here's the turning point. You can reverse that decision today. Not next month, not January 1st. Today, take a walk, clean your room, get a haircut, prepare a better meal, go to bed earlier, stand up straight, put on clothes that make you feel put together. Do one thing that tells your mind, "I'm taking responsibility again." Because confidence isn't something you find, it's something you build. Every promise you keep to yourself becomes evidence. Evidence that you're capable, evidence that you're disciplined, evidence that you can change. And maybe you're listening to this thinking, "It's too late for me." Maybe you're 25, maybe you're 40, maybe you're 60. But listen carefully, your age is not a reason to abandon yourself. If anything, it is a reason to become more intentional. You don't need to look 20. You need to look like someone who respects the person they have become. There is a huge difference. So tomorrow morning, when you stand in front of the mirror, don't search for imperfections. Ask yourself something deeper. What habits are creating the person I see? Because your appearance isn't built in one day. It's built quietly, through your sleep, your food, your movement, your posture, your grooming, your thoughts, your discipline, and the way you treat yourself when nobody is watching. Marcus Aurelius understood that a person's life is shaped by repeated choices, not by occasional bursts of motivation. And that means you don't need to transform your entire life tonight. You only need to change the next decision. Put the phone down earlier. Stand a little taller. Take the walk. Drink the water. Choose the better meal. Clean yourself up. Stop comparing. Speak to yourself with respect and keep the promises you make to yourself. Because eventually, those small decisions become your habits. Your habits become your character, and your character becomes visible, not just in your face, but in your eyes, your posture, your energy, your confidence, and the way you enter a room. So the next time you look into the mirror, don't ask, "How do I become more attractive?" Ask, "How do I become someone who takes care of himself?" Because when you build that person, the appearance is only the reflection. And remember, you don't need to impress the world. You need to stop neglecting the person you see in the mirror. Start quietly. Start today, and let your actions speak for you.